There is voter profile going on at the grassroots level, and the election commission has been appointed by the BJP to put a most corrupt and partial man as the chief election commissioner, who will devise these means and who is being provided protection, I dare say, in the judiciary also. Because the manner in which SIR has been allowed to be completed, in spite of saying that justice denied is justice delayed, is not only justice denied, but justice destroyed. The special intensive revision, they said, what is the need of Form 7? There is no need. Now the BLO is going house to house, so it is being checked. When they found that it could not be done, they were not able to delete a sufficient number of votes. The boss of Gyanesh Kumar goes to Rajasthan, the ex-boss, the appointing authority of Gyanesh Kumar, the shielding authority through the legal, giving him immunity authority of Gyanesh Kumar, goes to Rajasthan, instructs them that you dump pre-printed forms, printed names, because they don't have the time to write it. Then what is happening now? You privatize the making of the electoral roll, and you will get a 99.9 flawless electoral roll. But they don't want to do it because all of them are in conspiracy. If the word is going around that BJP is a fascist party which is targeting people on the basis of religion, trying to establish a Hindu Rashtra and winning elections by rigging the elections. What is your reputation in the international community of the nations? Those people whose votes were deleted through Form 7, each one of them should be posted on the internet, and a case should be filed in the Supreme Court by these political parties that reveal the names. That record is to be kept.
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. You have elections in states like Assam, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Kerala, and SIR is being conducted in several states across the country. Now, what's happening? Form 7 is being misused to delete the voters. It's almost like disenfranchising the voters in bulk. And this is what is happening through Form 7. Many people and many analysts see that it's almost like putting the voters in a gas chamber, because a voter without the voting rights is a voter who doesn't exist in the country. Now, regarding this Form 7 deletions and the bulk deletions which are happening, Congress has written a letter to the Chief Election Commissioner and the two election commissioners alleging misuse of Form 7 by BJP workers to wrongly delete eligible voters from the electoral list through a centralized system and by using and relying on the Election Commission's own document during the ongoing special intensive revision of electoral rolls in 12 states and union territories. Now, what has the opposition demanded? Let's try and understand. I'll try and show you the letter which was written by Mr. K.C. Venugopal, and the letter has been addressed to the Chief Election Commissioner and the three election commissioners. What you see on the screen is a letter written by K.C. Venugopal. An opposition party has demanded urgent intervention and probe by the Election Commission of India to halt illegal deletions, while claiming that socially backward and marginalized sections were being targeted. Now, Form 7 is meant for individuals to make legitimate objections to the inclusion of a name in the electoral rolls, or to make legitimate requests for deletion of an existing name due to the death of the person. Now, this letter which has been written KC Venugopal has expressed Congress's concerns related to eligible voters being wrongfully deleted during the claim and objection phase of the SIR. And I'm going to quote a portion of the letter, what he has written, that what is worrying and hence requires immediate intervention of the Commission is the fact that media reports and party workers have identified individuals and members belonging to the BJP and found them to be using and relying on the Election Commission's own document, that is Form 7, to wrongfully delete voters from the final electoral roll. Now, he said that such unchecked actions will not only embolden BJP in their efforts to wrongfully gain electoral advantage, but will also lead to the disenfranchisement of lakhs of voters, especially those belonging to the backward, marginalized communities who, as per the media reports, have been made the target of these deletions and removals through Form 7. Now, what is most significant is that Venugopal has also pointed out that he's got complaints from Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Assam, Kerala, and he indicated that there is a pattern. What he has said in the letter, I'm going to quote again. First, there is generation of bulk pre-printed objection forms in the Form 7, allegedly through a centralized system. Second, such forms are then used to raise objections en masse against targeted categories. And third, these pre-printed Form 7 applications are then handed over to the booth level officers across multiple assembly constituencies in different states through a well-organized mechanism. Now, what does this go to show? Now, this is not happening for the first time. It's been happening, and I'll show you a few tweets which go to show that in West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee has been battling with this problem. Now, let me show you this, what Trinamool Congress had pointed out a few days ago when asked to look at the tweet, what has been put out. When asked to bend, they crawled. That line sums up Election Commission perfectly. That they didn't just bend the rules, they tore up their own rule book to meet BJP for India a voter deletion target in Bengal. Up chronology samajiye. ECI's own guidelines capped from 7 submissions at 10 per day per BLO. Opposition bulk applications were rejected in Bihar, citing this rule. 13 January 2026, BJP leaders caught red-handed dumping thousands of Form 7 to delete the genuine voters. 16 Jan 2026. So these are all just few days ago. Magically, ECI rewrites its own guidelines, removing the limits altogether. Democracy isn't dying quietly, it's being dismantled in broad daylight. This is the first tweet of Trinamool Congress. Then again, similarly, there are various incidents where Trinamool Congress has pointed this out, that look at this tweet. It says that what unfolded in Bankura today exposes the BJP's desperation in the clearest possible terms. A vehicle moving from Taldanga towards Khatra was found carrying a large number of pre-filled Form 7 documents meant for voter deletion. These were not bulk forms. Names, details, and objections had already been filled in, clearly pointing to a planned attempt to remove voters before they even knew what was happening. I'm not reading the entire tweet. Let's go on to the next. There are various stories regarding this, that how Form 7 is being misused. It's not just one case I'm talking about. Now look at this. Bengal BJP leader appointed as BLA arrested for allegedly trying to remove 343 genuine voters from electoral rolls. So it's happening as a pattern. And what KC Venugopal has pointed out, that it's happening through a centralized mechanism, which means that Election Commission is in cahoots with the BJP people on the ground. And this is how the Form 7 bulk deletions are happening. And not to forget what's happening in Assam. Now you have a sitting chief minister, Himanta Biswa Sarma, saying it on record. What's wrong in it? And he tells the BJP workers via video conferencing that please go and fill up Form 7 to delete the voters. Now you can imagine. And before this, even Jitu Patwari, who is in charge of the Congress in Madhya Pradesh, he has pointed out, and he has said that he will go and lodge FIRs against all those people who are deleting names. Now, this is happening across the states, as what KC Venugopal's letter clearly points out. But what is this really resulting into? Let's understand the enormity of the situation. It's really unprecedented. People are not getting to the bottom of how big the problem is, how big the scale of this problem is, because one needs to understand that Form 7 is becoming a ploy to win elections, and that ploy is ploy is only with the election commission and the BJP. So it's just not about winning or losing elections, it's about a large scale disenfranchisement, which one needs to be sensitive about. And we'll talk about this today. Joining me this evening is lawyer and activist Arun Agarwal, who's been working on electoral democracy for years. We've been speaking on a number of programs on this. And Arunji, thank you so much for joining. And Form 7 is something which we've been talking about for a long time. But now it's high time to sensitize the people in a different manner altogether. And that's why in my introduction, I almost likened it to putting the voters in a gas chamber. Because once you disenfranchise the voters, you are taking the breath out of the voter. Is it something which is very, very dangerous and people need to know about it? What do you have to say on this?
Good evening, Neeluji. See, we have been saying time and time again that the elections in 2024 were won by active deletion of known BJP, known supporters of those opposed to BJP in whichever state, by profiling them, getting their names deleted, and at the same time adding on bogus votes through Form 6. This was going on, and after the 24 elections, when there was shocking results in state assemblies of Haryana and Maharashtra, that entire game was given away. So much so that even in Karnataka, there was an organized attempt. See, these are not isolated attempts of a very enthusiastic BLO or a BLA, BLO having political affiliation, and a BLA who is a Sanghi who has been taught to do wrong things in order to get ahead in life. That is why the basic support comes from the Banya classes, which has been evading taxes, where it is considered all right to evade taxes, to earn money through foul means. And that same logic is transferred into deleting legitimate names. So this was going on. And when the opposition, through various press conferences, got wise to it, then this bright spark of a man who has a known background of arm twisting, taking bribes, suspected, as we saw in the case of that Malaysian contractor who committed suicide and named him as the prime accused while he was a transport commissioner or road commissioner in Kerala. Being appointed, given immunity, and then they come up with this brilliant idea that we have to do an SIR and re-revise the rules. So now when they started re-revising, this time they wanted to make the Panna Pramukh or the representative of the RSS an official this thing. So they came up with this idea of BLA. In Bihar, they were totally unprepared. If you see the data of the elections, both at the time of preparation of the rolls and even at the time of voting, apart from the bribes that was paid, you will find that the Congress and the RJD had insignificant or very low numbers, 25-30% of BLAs, and in majority of the constituencies, they didn't even have a polling agent to represent them. So it was game time to rig the elections whichever way that you want. The entire state was in collusion, and lo behold, you got a result which you have never seen, unfathomable type of result, which the most optimistic person could not do, and there was over rigging. At that time, when they talked about using the computer, the software, the logic was they had switched off the software earlier. Now they switched it on to voter profile and cut the corresponding number of votes, which were around 10% and 15-20% in Muslim constituencies where votes were deleted. So that was one part which was going on. Thanks to this constant attention, people got wise in other states when the SIR came into being. Certainly in West Bengal, they have their cadre. They are as well represented at the booth level as anybody else. They have worker as at the grassroots level. Similarly, in Rajasthan, they also got wise, and there is a certain amount of sense of fairness over there. So they were alert also there in Rajasthan and to a limited extent in Madhya Pradesh. So what do they find? Now they realize, in fact, there is this thing which I have sent of Madhya Pradesh. The entire thing, again, what is happening over there is that the data is being given that till 3 days or 4 days before the close of the SIR, the number of deletions forms were insignificant. And lo and behold, I think that clip is there, that whole this thing, if we'll play a part of it. So just one day before, they 3 or 4 days before, Amit Shah and another higher official comes from the center and says, "Ki, what's happening?" And when they find that not many votes have been deleted and things have been going in fair manner, there is a sudden dumping of pre-printed form in various constituencies, and the number of voters to be deleted through Form 7 goes up. And these are, mind you, not handwritten, printed form. And somebody is just signing and giving it, and votes are supposed to be deleted. In some places, they catch the entire form and they want to know that who gave it to the BLOs. Everybody disowns it. So you are finding, and in West Bengal, when these large number of dumping is taking place and they are caught, then they point out that the rules allow you only 10 forms per day for a person, and in particular a BLA. Then they change the rule at that. I mean, it's not even a rule. It is this thing of a
Right.
election manual guideline,
Yeah.
which is changed to remove the ceiling. This clearly establishes that there is voter profile going on at the grassroots level, and the election commission has been appointed by the BJP to put a most corrupt and partial man as the chief election commissioner, who will devise these means and who is being provided protection, I dare say, in the judiciary also. Because the manner in which SIR has been allowed to be completed, in spite of saying that
Yeah.
justice denied is justice delayed, is not only justice denied, but justice destroyed. That way, the whole election process has been destroyed, where crores of people have been disenfranchised. A
But
simple
Aruki,
question to
I
be
also
asked.
would want to, I would also want to understand this bit which has been pointed out, and even you pointed that out by KC Venugopal with the letter which he has written. He says that first there is generation of bulk pre-printed objection forms in the Form 7, allegedly through a centralized system. Now, what is this centralized system which you have also spoken about? How does the centralized system function? I mean, it is happening at the behest of the election commission. Is it happening at the level of the state governments? I mean, state election office. How is this centralized mechanism functioning actually?
No, the BJP funded IT techies, IT companies. They are involved in rigging this election. And most of them you will find are, come from the upper caste, and they are supporters of the BJP. And they will try and show. I mean, one of them is very obvious name is Mohandas Pai. They are such likes who will go the extra mile. This is what was found in Aland. That's why I said in the beginning, it is not an isolated case of an enthusiastic BLA or a political candidate or a BLO having political leanings. This is a planned, pre-planned, organized voter profiling and voter deletion through Form 7. First of all, if you remember, the first time when we were discussing Form 7, you and me, when I think none of these people, even these party workers, had heard about that Form 7, we were totally outraged that how can you give another person a right to delete the vote of a voter? How can that right be given? That giving that Forms 7 itself is a big illegality. And it has got all this thing of weaponizing it.
Oh, but
The,
Arunji, if I remember clearly, we were the first ones to do the program on Form 7, and this was like almost like 2 years ago. And since that time, we've been in a number of programs. We've spoken about Form 7, but everything looked like a cover up exercise earlier. But now, do you think as the time is passing by, the misuse of Form 7 is becoming more and more brazen? Like what Himanta Biswa Sarma says, that I have informed and I have told all the BJP workers to fill up bulk Form 7. Now, a sitting chief minister talking like that,
I
and
think he
obviously,
also said that to delete the name of Mias,
of the Mias,
if I'm
yes,
not
yes,
mistaken.
exactly. Yes, yes, he did
So,
that.
of a particular religion, what is
Yes.
election commissioner doing there? He doesn't read the newspapers.
Himanta
See,
Biswa Sarma actually clearly said that Mias are a trouble and we will keep troubling the Mias. And I have told the BJP workers via video conferencing that they should get together, fill up Form 7 in bulk and delete the names of the Mias.
now here they should have filed an FIR against the chief minister and put him behind and instituted a case. Why I'm telling you? Because all the BLOs are his employees. They are on temporary deputation to the election commission. 98% of the time, or what, 99.5% of the time, they work for Hemant Biswa Sharma. He is the one who is telling them, giving them orders that go ahead and you do it. The prime minister and the home minister give the election commissioner immunity. And these BLOs, nothing will happen to them. So it is a criminal conspiracy between all of them that you will delete the name of a particular community by religion.
True.
See, the implication is, I mean, ghastly. You cannot imagine that this type of manipulation
But in Assam, I guess
would be
Congress
a
has gone
conceived,
to the court.
be be a conceived, be encouraged, and see get away with. See, when it came to the special intensive revision, they said, what is the need of Form 7? There is no need. Now the BLO is going house to house, so it is being checked. When they found that it could not be done, they were not able to delete a sufficient number of votes. The boss of Gyanesh Kumar goes to Rajasthan, the ex-boss, the appointing authority of Gyanesh Kumar, the shielding authority through the legal, giving him immunity authority of Gyanesh Kumar, goes to Rajasthan, instructs them that you dump pre-printed forms, printed names, because they don't have the time to write it. All done in their IT cell, manned by these Manuvadi
So the
people
probability
who are doing
is, so
voter
according to what
profiling.
you're saying, so according to what you're saying, Arunji, this centralized mechanism we are talking about, perhaps does that run from the BJP office and that's being followed by the election commission? Could that be a
Of course,
probability?
of course. There is voter profiling at the grassroots level. They have got workers over there, and all
Right.
that is transmitted as data to the top. And there you have these people sitting in the IT centers of theirs, and they are printing these forms, and they are sending, and they are telling them that you just initial some garble type of thing and you put it and we will have them deleted. And he's sitting there with the, see, who is making the software? Has the, like, you see, the passport authority uses a software developed by the private sector, which in this case is the Tata TCS. Income tax uses the software developed by the Infosys. Railways have their booking software developed by, again, the Tatas. All along the line, election commissioner does not have a software. They get it developed. From whom did you get developed? You find in the court they are attacking Aadhaar because the private sector was used to do Aadhaar. The fact of the matter is that the government didn't have the wherewithal, and it was a much accurate system than what is happening now. You privatize the making of the electoral roll, and you will get a 99.9 flawless electoral roll. But they don't want to do it because all of them are in conspiracy. Where, I mean, they are appointing their own partisan umpire. The court keeps on saying justice denied is justice destroyed, and the very same person is not taking up the case and hearing it, and the person who is sitting there is granted immunity, and he has the guts. Amit Shah goes there 3 days later. I don't know why your back office is not able to play that particular this thing, which is very, he says that I won my constituency by 28,000 votes, and 2 days, 1 day before the closing, 27,000 deletion forms were dumped in my constituency. And when I caught them and I went to the DM and all the authorities that who is the person who has dumped it, they say, we don't know. They don't investigate. So when you are promoting rigging, please understand one thing. All the foreign countries have their embassies here. They are not blind. If the word is going around that BJP is a fascist party which is targeting people on the basis of religion, trying to establish a Hindu Rashtra and winning elections by rigging the elections, what is your reputation in the international community of the nations? That is the larger question. Here you change the rules. You know that the courts will look the other way. The courts are only interested. See, the allegation is being leveled that upper caste people are denying the right to vote to the lower caste and community people on the basis of voter profiling, and nothing is happening. See, Manoj Jha, I'll just give you a statistics. How, deep this malaise has gone, which shows he asked a question to the law minister that how many judges are coming from the backward SC, ST in the High Court. Now, while in the lower judiciary, this number total came to around 46-47%, though the total population of BC, SC, ST is 85%. So even there, the representation was underrepresentation of 50%, because there is some reservation in some of the states in the lower judiciary. In the High Court, where there are 847 judges, and the Supreme Court, 3.82 Dalits, 2% tribals, 12.2% is backward, total is 18%. That's all. So, you see, there is a part, traditionally, of a wise man, say a Brahmin or whatever, being an impartial person, not taking sides. But at the same time, you have also the tradition of being clever.
Right.
And using the law.
So this voter profiling, this kind of a voter profiling is unconstitutional. It's just not allowed by law. But the point is
criminal.
It's criminal. But how do you check? Sir, how do you check this rampant misuse of Form 7? You're saying it's criminal, but how do you check on this criminal? How do you tackle, how do you battle with this criminal activity, which
See,
Ganesh Kumar is indulging into?
Section 32 of the ROPA specifically provides that, and when you are giving that undertaking, you are giving the undertaking that if you have a voter's name deleted and if it is found to be false, or even in Form 6, you will be imprisoned for 1 year. In
Yes.
spite, nobody take the laws seriously. And this law was made in 1950. It's in the first ROPA,
Hmm.
Representation of People's Act. 32 for a voter, 31 for a BLO.
Hmm.
ERO, BLO was non-existent. That BLO is also the introduced by a South Indian Brahmin when he was in the election commission to rig the elections, and he takes great pride in it. That is another story. So BLA, not BLO. So and also the BLO. So these are recent introduction, but assistant ERO is there. ERO is mentioned in the electoral laws. If they do something wrong, then it is 2 years. For a voter who, or a person or a citizen who is filling Form 7 wrongly, it is 1 year. But here you have conversation. One man traced the person who had deleted his name. And I have seen that video. And he phones up this man. He says, Ki, bhai, you have my, do you know me? He says, no. Who are you? He said, Ki, I'm so and so. Why did you had my vote deleted? He said, yes, I had your vote deleted. Why did you have it deleted? He says, I was told by my superior to, he names the person who is the BJP office bearer. He says, he told me to do it and I have done it. He says, then should I report you to the police? He says, go and do it. Nothing will happen. Go. This is what the protection is not only offered to Gyanesh Kumar by Amit Shah. It is offered down the line.
Yes.
This is what is happening.
No, but sir, we are seeing all this happening before our eyes, and yet we can't do anything just because the courts have closed their eyes, just because election commission is in cahoots. So what is the need of the hour so that this kind of a bulk deletion doesn't happen? I mean, it's already happening. A lot of it has been checked in states like West Bengal, because people with whom I'm in touch over there, they were saying that there were crores of voters which were names which were deleted. That has come down to lakhs. That has been checked on a large scale, but still it is happening. So how does one check this bulk deletion now?
No, no, you can't wake up people who are awake. See, in the court, it is being argued that more than 3 crores votes are being deleted. Now, every vote that is deleted is a new case because he has a right to appeal and all that. That one, and there is already a big backlog of about 6 crores. So you are adding 3 crore cases to an existing backlog of 6 crores, where people, out of sheer indifference and the uh, long time that the judicial process takes place, people give up their rights and they make a hula bula, not a single complaint. They know, jolly well the court knows how many people have the time to waste their months of this thing on getting their vote restored. Those who have little legal resources, little financial resources, you are expecting them to fight a legal battle right up to the courts. And you are empowering a SDO to take away, who is the ERO, to take away the citizenships of lakhs of people through voter profiling. And the court is aware of it. Deliberately, it is not doing anything. When you see at the initial this thing, it is on record and reported. Justice Bagchi said that you show me 15 people who
Yes.
have been shown to be dead and are alive and whose votes have been deleted, and we will declare SIR to be illegal. That figure is well over 15 lakhs. That's
Yes.
why I say you can't wake them up. When it is brought to the notice of the court that the BLOs have been committing fraud by signing the enumeration form, which happened in Bihar, the court says, oh, they are being proactive, not that they are committing fraud. Now, the more this thing, what you asked, what is to be done? And I must praise the West Bengal government, the Tamil Nadu
Yes.
government, the, I think, Kerala government, which went to the court. The political parties went to the court during SIR. Representatives of Congress went, Congress did not go. In fact, I don't know what happened when the rejoinder was being argued yesterday, day before, and the day before that, 2 days. Uh, Manu Singhvi was not arguing that rejoinder. Others were arguing. So either the Congress has given up or they are not taking this matter seriously enough.
Oh, but
They
these
could not
letters,
take this preventive
the kind
step
of
in.
letter. No, sir. Since you pointed that out, that Congress is not serious about it, but KC Venugopal has been saying that he's been pointing this out for a long time. Now he's written a letter to the Election Commission. Is there any use of such a letter? This is
No,
my final
why are
question.
they not going to the court? Like Rahul Gandhi showed through the press conferences how Brazilian models were being introduced. Election had been made a mockery, to which this Gyanesh Kumar did not have any response.
If I remember correctly, I think one of the Congress leaders, I don't remember who, but somebody said that we will not go to the court. Our job is to expose the malpractices. What's happening? What kind of a theft is happening? How it's happening? We've exposed this before the people, and now let the people think about it. They will not go to the court.
Either they are afraid that the people who will go to the court will be victimized, but
Right.
that does not prevent the apex people who are the lawyers going to the court. See, or they have totally lost faith in the courts, given the manner in which, partisan manner in which courts have been acting time and time again. Their
Right.
fellow judges are criticizing them.
Yeah.
Who am I? You see, when Kapil Sibal conducts his Dil Se, there are former judges sitting there. Justice Lokur is there. Justice Dhulia is there. They are criticizing what is happening in the court. People are being profiled by religion and bail is not being granted. You should have seen the desperation of Kapil Sibal being down with viral fever and arguing the case of Omar Khalid. Wanchuk. Courts,
But
they just want to prolong.
absolutely.
They are not bothered. You see, I'll tell you something. This is something very grave. During the emergency, there were 4 judges, 4:1, who did not stand up to the government. Justice Khanna did. From 14 to now, that number has become manyfold.
That's true.
Whether they like it or not, and people know about it. See, nobody wants to, especially the lawyers, because each case means lakhs to them. They are not going to say it to your face. If democracy, and I'll tell you in the rejoinder, and when Kapil Sibal, to his entire credit, when he started his rejoinder, he said that this is the most important case for democracy. If we fail, democracy does not survive. Who is saying it? Not only a senior lawyer, but a lawyer who has been president of the Supreme Court Bar Association 4 times. He is telling the court.
Yeah. No, but Arunji, this is really, it's disheartening and it's very demotivating also. But my final question to you, because I have to end the program, that it's almost like suffocating the voter. It's almost like asphyxiating the voter that, look, we will not leave you with any kind of breath. Has the electoral democracy now reached in that comatose situation? Very briefly,
No,
and this is my final
it
question to
is
you.
not that. You see, in Tamil Nadu, in West Bengal especially, this BLO has filed that FIR. They have filed the FIR. That man has been arrested. They should, you see, I will tell you something. I was in the court that day. Very rarely do I go to court because my case of EVM was also pending. Justice Khanna, Chief Justice Khanna then, oh no, he wasn't Chief Justice then, became later. He casually asked that what is the penalty for somebody getting a vote deleted wrongly? And they looked up the law and they said 1 year. He said, what? Only 1 year? That 1 year is not sufficient. There is an IPC also.
Yes.
1 year is only under the electoral roll because you are committing unknowingly, you are getting a name of a live person who is on the electoral roll getting deleted. They should expedite that prosecution, prosecute him, have him in prison for 7 years because fraud involves 420 is 7 years. Put him in bay and make an example. You prosecute 10 such BLAs and all these Panna Pramukhs and stooges of RSS will be running scared. That is the only way out. You can't rely on the higher courts to come and protect all this system. High courts and Supreme Court are to prevent this systematic rigging of elections, which they
Absolutely.
are not interested. They are happy as long as the election is getting rigged in favor of the BJP and they are appointed under that type of dispensation. It is you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yes.
Not
True.
a single suo moto case is being taken up when it comes to rigging of elections.
True.
Now you have example of EVM being replaced in Orissa. Where is the discrepancy between Form 17A and 20? Not a single vote being counted. Nobody, you talk about appointment of a high power, jurist to set right the UGC regulation, whereas you are not able to set right your elections. Something which was settled in large measures, you have unsettled it. The need to, there is an abuse of the electoral process at every stage of the elections. From preparation of voter roll to the counting of the votes and the EVMs and the declaration of the number of votes cast. You have a duty, if the election commission is honest, in the last 3 years, all those people whose votes were deleted through Form 7, each one of them should be posted on the internet. And a case should be filed in the Supreme Court by these political parties that reveal the names. That record is to be kept. And I will tell you, they will come up with this logic, we destroyed the record, which they
Absolutely.
are not supposed to.
Right. But it's very
So
unfortunate. Yeah.
we are
Uh,
we are in a grave crisis because the institutions which are supposed to ensure that there is a free and fair elections are not functioning, they are not carrying out their role, and there is no seriousness shown that they are outraged by such manipulations.
Absolutely.
It is considered par for the course as long as you do it in the favor of the party in power.
Right. Very unfortunate, but God knows how it's going to be checked. But we'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Arun Agarwal, for joining on HW News. Thank you.